I'm Kelli.
And I'm Danni.
Welcome back to the ProCreatives Podcast for moms who make things.
Yeah, we are back. The podcast for moms and future moms who are navigating their creative careers as they raise their little inspirations.
Ooh, and we are so excited. It is a new season.
We're excited to be back.
Let's get into this episode. We want to update you on what we've been doing and what we've got coming next.
Yes, yeah. We know you guys saw us taking pictures and making reels this summer because I went to California to see my girl. Had to go to Cali to see Kelli.
And we had a great time.
Yes.
This summer, we really wanted to have rest, relaxation, just an opportunity to kind of slow down from the busy pace of the regular school year and just life in general. Some slowdowns happened that were unexpected.
Okay. But necessary. Okay.
But
necessary. And we see the fruits of it already. And I bet we're going to see more of it. You know, you're no good if you're not rested, right? You're not how you're going to give your best work if you're on E, right? We don't want that.
Facts. So, Dannielle got to come and visit me. It was your first time in California, right?
Yeah, it's first time in California. It didn't disappoint. Like, it was really, now, you know, people hype it up for other things. And I went for the food. So, and the company. Yeah. I didn't go for the things that typical people will go for, but we had experiences. We planned things, and you know, most of the stuff I didn't know anything about, but I was like, let me just Google and see what's popping here and there. And we went on adventures together. So it was really good. It was first time for Kelli for certain things, and obviously first time for me, but we had a time.
We sure did. I actually felt like I was on vacation because I didn't really see my kids a lot because we were on the road. We were on the road and it was a lot of fun. It was really refreshing to just explore places of California that I had never been. Right. What was your favorite part of
the trip? Oh, well, I know obviously the food was great, but we're not talking about food. We joked about that I had a little monster inside of me because I had to be fed at all times in order to maintain chipperness. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic for all this. You know, we're not gonna talk about it right now. But my favorite, I don't know, every day I had something that was exciting and that was fun. Okay, so the first day I got there, I definitely slept in, and then we did a photo shoot. Obviously, that was the highlight. It was a whole vibe. Like, first of all, I don't know about you guys. I'm gonna plug in right now. The Jordans create. Listen. Let me tell you about these people. Okay. First of all, you know the company, right? They help you with everything. You need help in anything creative, you go ahead and send an email to thejordanscreate@gmail.com. Okay. They'll help you. They'll help inspire you. And listen, it's a whole family team. Okay. We had the kids setting up stuff. The dad was the photographer. Mom was the model. It was a whole vibe. And not just saying that because she's here watching me, but it was really a whole vibe. We had a really good time. And then the second, like every day had something of a highlight. I even went to this, what was it? The movie? What was the thing that we went for you?
The Miss Show Film Festival.
There you go. The film festival. Now I was like, first of all, I'm not in, this was her scene. And I was like, okay, I'm just coming in, but I didn't feel totally out of place. It was such a good space to me to help hear all those people on the panel talk about their experiences. And, you continue to realize how much like you're not alone and how much the stories are similar, right? And, and they're just so empowering. They're basically telling you, listen, I did it. You could do it. And I felt inspired to go ahead and do my own thing. I need to go more places, y'all. I'm in Florida here in my room, sitting up in my room. I need to get out.
Sitting up in my room.
That's it.
No, it really honestly was a great time. I think we've touched on so many things. Like we got to explore California. Yes. We got to meet and engage new people, one of which you guys will be meeting soon.
You won't even know. You don't even know. It's about to be this season. You guys are in for a treat. We have been working in the background and, we took chances. Listen, but we were like, memorizing our script. Okay, we're going to approach her. What are we going to say? And, you guys have a lot to see.
A lot to see. We're excited about it. And I think one of the things that I was encouraged by on the trip was to just really, truly rest. I am not good at that, as my friend continues to remind me.
She's learning. She's in the process.
I'm in the process of learning how to truly, truly rest. I am an on-the-go person, and I've had to build rest into my schedule intentionally. And basically, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, at the end of June, I was forced to take a break because I mean, I had a major transition, a job transition happen in my life, and that freed up a lot of my time. And I was forced to rest and reevaluate. And I spent a lot of time doing that. And I got to enjoy family. You know, obviously Dannielle came to visit, but my sister and my dad, they also came to visit. And honestly, it was just refreshing for me to just take a step back and really just say, July, I'm going to devote to my family, my friends, my own time, planning, you know, visioneering, like considering what is it that I want to do? How do I want to maximize my time, my life, and make it something that's fruitful. And that's not just a blessing to me, but is a blessing to everyone around me. That's always my MO. And so, getting to just getting to be a mom.
Yes.
It was just different. It's like, oh my gosh, I get to make breakfast for my kids and lunch for my kids again. And that's not something that I really had the time to do. It's like, okay, this is the menu. Y'all know how to make sandwiches.
Thank God you taught them. Okay. They're self-sufficient.
Everybody knows how to make their own food. Okay. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner, if they needed to.
And snacks.
And snacks. So, but I realized how much I actually enjoy doing those things. And it was something, you know, just being a mom, like being there. And I know my kids felt that too. Like the fact that I wasn't, there was like a couple of days where I just never opened my laptop. And I was like, I had to look at my laptop and be like, do you miss me? Like, I still love you. Like, I'm still here for you. I still need you. I still need you. I still need you around. Okay. But I truly did enjoy my break and having you visit and really getting to explore myself again.
You get to be reminded, like, you know, we keep talking about that, about how having your village and your people help remind you sometimes in the moments when you're not seeing yourself clearly, right? And then they remind you, like, you a boss, you got this, you've been doing this, right? So, you know, having those friendships that last over years and years, and they've seen you transform, they've seen you grow, all the things. They're able to say, I know that you're a little down right now, but don't forget, you've been doing this. You've been the girl, okay?
Having that that core group of people, or even that person it is critical, like for that to have someone externally remind you and affirm you and encourage you. And I'm glad that, you know, we're able to be that for each other. And there was a point at this event, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't remember how to talk to people. It's like, wait a minute. Yes, you do. Okay,
yes, you do. You got, yes.
So it's I encourage all of us. I know sometimes we feel like, especially with women, I don't know if this is still a thing, but obviously it's still a thing because you see catty female to female relationships. Okay. That's what sells certain TV
shows.
But I think having supportive community, especially as a parents who understand, like, this is kind of what the struggle is, right? It's hard sometimes to have that support system. And even if it is someone just saying, I'm praying for you, or I'm keeping you on my mind, or just sending an encouraging word, you never know what that could do to encourage somebody.
It was healing. Like, there was a moment while we were writing, going up to LA, and I just was having a reflective moment. I was like, you know, having friends is such a healing thing as well. You have a moment where you can be your authentic self and not be so guarded, because I don't think we're always aware of how guarded we are, or the presentation that we put on, because especially when you just meet people, you're like, okay, they can't see all the crazy. I got to get them bits and pieces at first, just so I could remain tolerable. But when you're in the space of people where you can be your authentic self and you could just let those things down, and you don't have to explain, because people like, okay, yes, you can meet new people and you could be great friends, but you have to still explain certain like nuances and stuff. But to have a break from having to do that explanation, like, I didn't mean that, I'm not trying to hurt you, like, they already know. And like having the friend that already knows, it's just like it's a whole different thing. It's just magic, like, she knew to feed me because she just knew, and it wasn't personal. It was just, I had to eat.
That is so true. And I mean, a whole conversation could be had about having to make new friends in your 30s, right? Like,
listen
now, I've been here for a while. Like, you're just gonna have to either digest me, or I'm not the person for you. And I know I'm a very picky eater. I am a
and she is.
I like what I like, and I don't like what I don't like. And I don't give in easily to peer pressure, which I think is a great thing.
It's a great thing.
It's great. A great thing. They told us not to give in to peer pressure, and I listened.
Listen, the 80s, wasn't that 90s TV? Which one 90s, was that? 90s.
Dare.
Yes. Okay, there you go. There it is.
The drug abuse resistance education. Okay.
Say no. Okay. Say no. Right. We've been saying no. I'm not a man. But anyway, okay. Digress.
Now, but I did have to grow into this person, though, because I did used to be a person who's like, oh yeah, I know, and good and well, I don't like that. Okay. I think it's just the Caribbean parenting. If you don't like it, you still gonna eat it. Now I'm like, I can eat what I want, and I don't want to eat that. So boop, boop, boop.
Now you're grown. Oh, you didn't hear this.
Now I'm grown.
Now you're grown.
Now I'm grown. I don't have to eat that stuff.
Whatever that is.
Whatever it is.
But we still gonna do what's good for us, And and adding on to the rest thing, there was one day I was resting and I was like, okay, this is great. Then I was like, is it too much? Like, I was questioning myself. Like, you really try to sabotage yourself. And I said, you know what? I was like, I didn't do anything today. Mind you, I got up, made homemade pancakes, fed my kids, you know what I'm saying? Already put the laundry away, did all these list of things, but I'm still counting them as nothing because I had so much time to relax. Like, we beat ourselves up. You still very much functioning. Like, even though we might say we're doing nothing, getting up and feeding your children, engaging and still doing things, feeding yourself, that is doing something. So I was giving myself points for the things that I did, because I was like,
sure,
I'm going to keep wallowing. I only got a couple weeks left before I have to go back and face the world of the workforce. But like you said, you get to reconnect with your kids, be a mother, be intentional. And then I also get to realize that, I don't need to be so sensitive in this area. And then, this is stress that's making me react this way. So listen, it allows you to rejuvenate and to pivot if you need to. And pivoting is not a bad thing.
And it gives you the clarity, like the mental clarity of, okay, now that I've rested, I could see things a little bit clearer.
Yes.
Yes. Outside of the overwhelm, outside of the stress, outside of the sleep deprivation, like the clouds start shifting away a little bit. So it's easier to see. And with that, like, one of the things someone asked me yesterday, like, how do you manage overwhelm, or like when you've given your all to a project or a moment, and how do you feel at the end of that? And I was thinking to myself, so one of the things that I started implementing was taking intentional breaks.
Right.
My therapist last year was like, look, you cannot take breaks when you're at the end of your rope. Like,
right, because that's not it. You fell off. You didn't take a break.
Okay, you just fell off. You had no choice. You did not
take a break.
So she's like, build it into your lifestyle. Like, okay, this weekend, I'm not going to do anything. We're going to take a drive. We're going to go to a different city. We're going to visit someplace new, where I'm not going to open my laptop. Even though I know there's pressing things to do, it's like, I can't actively do this well if I am not at rest, and it's physical rest, emotional rest, anything that is draining of the energy. And sometimes that was just like, I'm not logging into social media. I'm not engaging phone calls, I'm not checking my email. Like, I'm just not doing it because I need to mentally clear my mind. And I want to make sure that that's something that my kids see, that it's not just working all the time, but it's also being intentional about caring for yourself and caring for your family.
Yes, and being present in the situation.
Yeah, and being present, which is like, no, going to my kids' basketball game and like checking my email. No, I want to be right there in that moment, watching him make the shots, and not trying to multitask, because I feel like multitasking is great, right? For those who can do it well, but it's very hard to multitask and give your child 100% of what they need. And that is what they require. Right. They need that. And they feel when they're not getting enough of that.
Oh,
and
they know.
They know. And not that it's not easy, right? I think there are times when we have to say, okay, I'm going to give you this much time. And then the rest of this time, like, give me 20 more minutes.
Yeah.
And after 20 minutes, you'll have all of my attention. Sometimes it has to look like that. Or it's like, all right, now I know I have to stop everything because you're my priority. So it's just that balance. And the other thing that I was navigating too is like not allowing other people to tell me, like, to dictate how I use my time.
Yes.
Especially in working. Where my schedule has just always been topsy-turvy. Like, I can't meet today, but I can meet next week. And instead of like trying to go, okay, I could try to see if I can make it work today.
To fit it in. Right. No, because it's doing you a disservice as well, because, do you have time for that? Are you, and even like, okay, you're going to be rushing. Let's say you have a calendar and you have like 5 things on there. You're going to be waiting for this one thing to end instead of giving it your all attention because you're just ready to like keep checking things off the list. Yeah. So, we want to do it all. We have that mother syndrome to get it all done, do it all. But, we don't have to. We don't have to.
You really don't. And yeah, so that's been my mindset, like perspective shift. I've been thinking a lot about just legacy and what I want to leave behind, not just the tangible things, but like the character traits, the impact. Those are the things I've been thinking: spiritually, physically, financially, emotionally, like my character. People said, but people look at you or after I'm gone, it's like, she was this person, and that's how she showed up in every area of her life.
I've been thinking about something, like, it's so funny, we always get surprised when we have like similar mindsets, like if God is not the same God, right?
Right.
Because, he's shifting things and he does things sometimes uniformly, sometimes individually. But I've also been thinking along the same lines, like, what kind of lifestyle, right, in terms of discipline. So like, I see my child, like, she wants to play, this game, and she might want to spend all day on the game. How often, like, how am I watching TV? Am I spending my whole day? Is that the only way to decompress? So like the way that I am disciplined, the things that I put time into, okay, I'm like, okay, the TV is off or the phones are down. Let's go draw. Let's go paint. So what I'm learning is that, we can tell them this is what you should do, but they're also watching what we do. Right. So like, I have to be very careful about how I decompress, and sometimes reading a book. So we're going to the library this week. We have tons of books here, but I think it's nice to get something new, right? You go in and find something new, even though she has new books that she hasn't read, but it's like the same kind of character. So it's like, let's get something new. And I said, we're going to read, like, we're going to do this. We've been painting, we've been drawing, but as I said, I want to make sure and implement that, like that discipline, like when school starts, because I'm going to start school as well in the fall. Y'all pray for me. I'm going to show her there's going to be downtime, but there also is time to study, because in order for us to be great, we have to practice these things. Like, they see me drawing, even though when they see me drawing, they think it's draw time for everybody. And I'm like, nah, I'm really trying to work right here. But they're seeing they're noticing that, and that's how they're going to like, their discipline is that they're going to gauge a discipline off of that. Okay, I have to put this amount of time, this amount of hours. Mommy put in an hour, so I have to put in an hour, or they might put an hour and a half. They need to understand that it's important to create that structure while at home, even though, yes, home has all these other fun things and soft, cushy bed. You still have to get some work done here, and you can get work done as well outside, so it's the same thing. What are we trying? What, we want to create. We want to have our productive little humans. We want them to be great people when they get older. And we're really just trying to prepare them for the future. So, but a lot of it is how we take care of ourselves and the things that we do, because they're going to listen more to what we do than what we say.
Yeah, we definitely have to model healthy coping mechanisms, habits.
I'm baking all the time. So I can't bake all the time anymore when I'm stressed, because, is that healthy?
It tastes good though.
Listen,
shout out to those cookies that you made when you were here.
Great.
They were delicious.
There's still some in the freezer. I hope you took it out. I hope
yes, we ate those already.
Oh, never. Okay.
We ate those. Those are gone. They're long gone. Yeah, they were great. But as we're talking about, motherhood and our life and our perspective shift, there are some things that definitely popped off in the media as far as motherhood and different people, different perspectives that folks have about what it means to be a mother, what motherhood looks like. Yes. And specifically, there were comments made about Keke Palmer and her outfits. Y'all know. And we were very observant of the conversation, and I think this is something that we both have talked about, right? Like, what does being a mother look like, especially considering the generation before us who are like, we don't. Why you watch your belly button now? Why are you wearing those shorts? I'm a mother and it's hot outside. Okay. You want me to be wearing a full turtleneck and when it's 9,000 degrees? No, we're not doing that. Just because you suffered, we don't have to. Okay.
And you know what? There's no law. Like, there are laws in different countries that permit that women, they ain't got no choice. They got to go through it, whether it's hot or it's cold. But thankfully, over here in the Western world, we do have options. We can wear,
thank God.
different types of clothing. But I think it's very important. The conversation is like, what do you think a mother's supposed to look like? And how you think she became a mother? Okay. So, just because the title has been put on, just because, a woman has carried a child, that doesn't shift her whole entire being. And I'm sure people have seen that for good, or for better or for worse, right?
Right.
You've seen people like, man, you didn't even change. You're a mother now. Or the other hand, you've changed a lot since you're a mother. But I think the most important is like, they were a person. They were a person regardless of that title. And you have to allow grace for that. That, even as a woman, as a person, even as a person, because I don't want to just say to be as a woman, but even as a person, we're so complex. We're human beings. Okay. You have likes and dislikes. You change your perspective. What you liked wearing in the 2000s, you're not wearing now. What you how'd you do your hair in 1995? You're not doing it like that right now. So we need to give grace, especially to mothers, for sure, because we already have all these things that we have to do. We're already overthinking all the things. Just let us be. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I think with the shift in the perspective of motherhood, like, it kind of went from it's all of who I am as a woman to it's just part of who I am as a woman. Like, it is a huge part, but it's not everything. Like, I'm a mom, but I'm also this, I'm also that, I'm also all of these things. And I don't want to throw myself away because of what someone else's perception of what motherhood is supposed to look like.
Right.
Kids are happy, healthy, whole. They don't care what I'm wearing. You know what I'm saying? They don't care what I got on.
For the most part.
For the most part now.
Based on the value system that we have created in our, in our homes, because they'll check you.
They'll check you. Listen, my son, he's like, you're wearing a wig again? I'm like, look, you want to do this hair? And he does not like me wearing a wig. ever. He's never actually like,
but they're gonna have personalities. They're gonna have opinions. Okay.
You're gonna get this wig today because his hair is not getting done. Okay. You're gonna get this wig.
You want me to look cute or you want me to look crazy? You choose ye this day.
Choose ye this day. Okay. Choose ye this day. So, but yeah, it is. We have to also embrace like our autonomy. Right. And if I feel cute in this, I feel beautiful in this, I feel cool and comfortable in this. Yeah. I think it's okay. I think as long as, now if I'm wearing something and I don't feel uncomfortable, excuse me, if I'm wearing something and I feel uncomfortable, I'm thinking about my husband, like, is there any times? No, especially if I'm with him, he's like, oh, you better wear that.
Oh. Right. I've had incidents with my husband, like, you can wear, like, I'm like, this might be too short, isn't it? He's like, no, it's fine. And I'm thinking,
yeah, like, same.
He's not policing me. He's just like, right. Are you comfortable in it? Right. And like, just the basic comfort, like, okay, even just, let me tell you about this. Okay. So the other day I was like, my panty line's showing. And he was like, what? You're wearing a panty. Of course it's okay. I was like, no, you don't understand. You kid, it's not supposed to show. Like, he's like, but you're wearing underwear. I'm like, you're not getting it, but okay. So it's like really about like functionality. Like, it's like, yeah, okay, can you move in this? Can you jump over the ditch if you need to? Like, are we going somewhere? Like when we went hiking, he was like, that dress wasn't a hiking dress. I was like, yeah, it was.
Yes, it was.
He's thinking about wearing like, like workout clothes. It's all about function for them. So like, if it's comfortable, and I'm grateful that he's not policing my body. Like, I'll ask his opinion. But I'm so glad. Like, he was so upset when he heard about the whole thing with Kiki Mama. He was like, but he's not her daddy. Why he telling her? And I was like, oh, you more up in arms than I am. Let's talk about it. But I appreciate that perspective because, this is our bodies. We're responsible for what we have. And obviously, we look at it in terms of like respecting your spouse, but respecting yourself, respect yourself. And she was, I don't feel like it was ridiculously alarming. She, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't something I didn't find, in my opinion, I didn't find the outfit to be so outlandish and disrespectful or anything. It was very well done. It looked nice, but hey, t-shirt, but that's a conversation that needed to happen off camera, off the internet, because it's not everybody's business. It's not, and she's entitled, she has her own body, but yes, if he feels uncomfortable with something, I think it's okay to share, your feelings in a relationship
privately. The whole world. Yeah. That was the hardest thing for me. It's like, yeah, why are we all being brought into this conversation?
Right. That's why I said nothing. Here. I stared clear of it. I didn't comment on anything. I was definitely tempted. I wanted to say, y'all better get off her. Yeah. Let that lady be.
Let's let her chill. But I think it's the bigger conversation being like this shift in like, what does it mean to actually be a mom? And what does it actually look like? And I think, it can look different, for each of us. I mean, just in the generation before us, it looked totally different. The mindset was totally different. And we feel the impact of the negatives and the positives. So I think we just have to be open, be understanding, and also just acknowledge, like, in my house, this is what we do. And please stop putting all your business on the internet. Because
it was funny the other day, Tony Baker posted this thing about how have you ever looked at the old pictures of your parents when they were in high school? They looked old.
They did.
And that was the time. Like, everything was very much
mature. People had to mature quick. I mean, my dad was
19 looking like, grown.
Yeah, looking grown.
And they also put those responsibilities on them pretty early, I believe, because everybody was getting married pretty early. So,
and working.
Yes, and
people were working early, like,
oh my gosh,
14, 15 people were. That was before I think they had any type of child labor laws, but people were working at young. I was listening to another podcast. She was like, oh, I had a job at Blockbuster and I was like 14. I was like 14, 13.
My mom said, nope. She said, you focus on your work. Thank God for that. I thank God for the change. But people had to do what they had to do.
They had to do what they had to do to survive. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's it's interesting because you look on the internet and you see people like just who are moms, and it's just such a wide array of like different reflections of motherhood, and that everybody's really honestly trying to do the best they can with what they have, whether it's the information they have about motherhood, the resources that they have about motherhood, and still maintain some sense of self, because motherhood can be so consuming. It's so consuming that we put ourselves on the back burner.
That's what it's so, I feel like motherhood is like that. That it's just, I'm trying to relate it to something, because nothing I can relate it to would do it justice, but it's so great. It really is wonderful. It's such a beautiful thing that you are just like, you are ready to give all to this thing. Let me tell you, like it's like almost scary, which is why we're fighting to create some sort of balance, so that you don't disappear.
So you're not exactly that is why.
So it is such a beautiful thing. It's very much, and it's so alluring, all the things, because you're like, oh my gosh, my little person, I just want to do everything for this person. But when you deny every other part of yourself, and like, because a lot of men can say that when their wife has become a mother, like they don't exist any longer, right? Because it's so captivating. But we're learning the language, we're recognizing those things, those feelings, and putting words to them, and understanding that it's not necessarily, yes, there are moments in time for that, but there's other things, like the world is still out here, right? So we still want to operate and still be, a person in the world, in addition to a wonderful job as mothers.
Yes, it is wonderful. I mean, anything worth having takes work, right? And that's from labor and beyond, conception and beyond,
Conception. Okay,
I mean, conception is the best part. But yeah, it all takes work. There's no escaping. People are like, oh, y'all make motherhood look undesirable. And it's like, but the reality of life is that you're gonna have to work for what you want. Like, do you want happy, healthy children? Right. You're gonna have to work for that. That's not gonna.
And it's gonna take sacrifices too. Like they gonna want to sleep in your bed. If you want a good night's rest, and you've been fighting your child to sleep in their bed, sometimes you just close your eyes when you feel those little bodies in the bed. You just turn over and go to bed. You want to be tired? You pretend.
You pretend you didn't feel that person.
Right? You want to be tired, or you got to choose your battles. Okay. Sometimes it is hard.
It's hard, but it's beautiful, right?
But it is. It really, really
beautiful. And it's lovely. There's nothing like it in the world. Yeah. There's nothing like it in the world. Yeah. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. Yes. And stay tuned for this message, and then we'll be back to talk a little bit more about what's actually going to be happening in season 2.
Woo!
This episode of the ProCreatives Podcast is powered by The Jordans Create. The Jordans Create is a production company built by creatives and for creatives to help you execute your vision. The Jordans Create provides creative consulting and production services ranging from film and event production, editing and writing support, media editing, and creative direction. If you have an idea and need support, we are here for you. Send us an email at thejordanscreate@gmail.com. And we're back.
And we're back.
Listen. We've been working to get season 2. We had so many amazing guests last season. I mean, so
all the
different.
Wonderful ladies.
All the wonderful ladies.
And it was so different each time. Like I loved all of them. Because I took something away from each one. And we're expanding our community, right? So we want you guys to definitely go back and listen in, and join our community, right? Reach out to them, go ahead and check out their Instagram pages and leave them a little comment or two. You can tell that they're moms just like you and I, and they're doing a thing.
They're doing a thing. And my favorite part, just like you said, is like the perspectives are so different, but we're all in the same, unified through motherhood, even though our journeys look different. But it was encouraged. I was encouraged and inspired by each and every one of them. And so for season 2, we've got some exciting new guests. Ooh, yes. We are so excited. Just if you're not following us on Instagram, follow us on Instagram. Yes. We always kind of give a sneak peek into the episode and who's going to be on it before the episode actually airs. So you want to be following us on Instagram at the ProCreatives Podcast.com. I'm sorry, on Instagram at the ProCreatives Podcast.
Listen, the website coming soon.
Yes, okay? Listen. So we'll have some of our guests are from the entertainment industry. Some of our guests are entrepreneurs, and we really wanted to provide a diverse type of creative, right? We don't think creatives are just people who are just artsy, but we are all creatives. We all procreate and we all create, right? Anything that you're making, anything that's coming from you, whether it's an idea for a business or whether it's how you support moms who are going through things emotionally, and whether it's your written or whatever it is, like you're putting it out in the world for other people to see and experience and be encouraged by. And that is creativity. So we are excited. I mean, I'm like trying to hold back. I just want to tell everybody who all is going to be a guest, but we have some exciting, amazing women who will be sharing their stories with us. Woo!
Listen, and we're not hyping this up, but listen, we have real reason to hype it up. Okay.
We do.
We'll probably drop a little hints and things like that. But you guys don't want to miss season 2. As I said, we've been working hard to get you guys this good content. Okay.
Yes. For season 2. And we'll also have a little bit more, maybe one more episode than usual this to go round. We got a lot of guests, y'all. We've been working
we're so
hard.
Grateful.
We're grateful. We're grateful.
We're glad that people are seeing us, hearing us, and willing to share their story, because we're just getting more affirmation that this is necessary, right? These stories need to be told. Like, these women didn't even hesitate because they were like, yes, like, I want to talk about being a mom, because a lot of times in their workspaces, people, there's a lot of times they want women to assume the norm, right? They don't want to hear about the motherhood. They don't want to hear about that part, none of those things. Just want to see the production of the work. They're like, okay, just want to see you as a person doing your work in that perspective.
Right.
And it's as we said in the last season, we're not separate from that. The fact that being a mother is a superpower, and it gives us inspiration. It gives us even more skills to do great in our everyday jobs. So these women are going to tell their story and share that with us. And, hopefully you guys feel empowered and enlightened and all the good things.
Yes. And we hear your comments. We've had people check out the podcast and say that they really enjoyed it. They're inspired and they're encouraged by it. And people have given us feedback too. So we're so grateful to hear that and know that people are listening. People are being inspired and encouraged. So continue to listen. If you've missed an episode or two, circle back and get caught up before we launch this new season. And if you know someone who might be interested in hearing, who need that encouragement, share the podcast with them, with any mom that you know, so that they can also feel that same encouragement. We're not gatekeeping over here. We don't gatekeep greatness. Okay.
No. Because first of all, they kept it from us and we felt bamboozled. So we're not doing that.
That's right.
We're out here to share it so that you guys can know exactly what you're getting into, and understand that there's beauty as well, right?
Yeah, there's definitely beauty. But yes, we're excited. Season 2 will actually be launching, so you can save the date.
Ooh.
September. We will be back, which is like literally right around the corner, y'all. It's right around the corner. But we'll be launching in September. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Okay. One last note. Okay. So this is a little bit of the fun stuff. Y'all know every episode we have our guests do some fun stuff. But I wanted to highlight this movie that I saw this year that I felt really kept it real about being a parent, particularly of a teenager. I don't have a teenager yet. I will in about a month. I'll have a teenager, but this particular movie really awakened some of the feelings of like, dang, parenting is not easy. You're literally trying to keep your kid together.
Ever changing.
It's like, how did our parents do it? You know, we were not easy on them, okay? But they made it.
I was adorable, okay? I was perfect, okay?
Let me call your mom right now.
Don't add my mama. Don't add her. Please don't.
I got her numbers.
I was an angel.
Ooh, for sure.
Well, go ahead. Talk about the Spider-Verse. Talk about the movies.
So Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. It's the one with Miles Morales. Now, you know me, I love anything with the Marvel universe. Okay, with Spider-Man, it's one of my favorites. And Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the second installment of this, you got to see, I feel like it was for parents. I was like, parents had to have written this because it was so specific of father-son dynamics, mother-son dynamics, and like how each of those relationships are different, even within the home. Two different parents relating to one child differently.
And the child needs both.
And the child needs both. The child needs both perspectives.
Yeah.
So I truly enjoyed that movie, and I need to research whoever wrote that and see if they're parents, because the perspective on that was heart-wrenching. I was like, oh my gosh, this movie is for parents, everybody needs to
now I'm gonna have to go see it. I know I didn't, my kids are smaller, so see, and then they're girls. Even though Elle loved the first Spider-Man, like she loved Miles Morales, that was the bop. Okay, she kept singing I keep on checking all the time. She didn't know what she was saying, but she was saying it. Okay. But I didn't know if this one was going to be for her, so I'm definitely going to check it out. And
it's definitely older.
That's why I wasn't rushing to take that. That's why we went to Little Mermaid. So anyway, which is great. I'm gonna listen. We're still singing, but but I'm gonna check this out because I like to see things. I think we need more realistic, because we're realizing, I guess now, that how much people are taking from the media, right?
Yeah.
When it used to be, when it's supposed to be like art reflecting reality, we're feeling like it was a little bit out of touch. It was probably depicting somebody's reality, but not the majority, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're getting more realistic content because we're realizing people are not necessarily talking to people as often, but they're looking to these movies. So I'm interested. I'm excited to see it. I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, definitely check it out. I mean, there's some scenes in there that I was like, I don't want to give it away. It was just like, as a mom.
No, give it away. It's okay.
As a mom, particularly, I mean, this was a father-son, mother-son relationship. As a mom, just thinking about my son getting older or my sons getting older and having to, we have a son, one of our kids is a bit of a,
he's Spider-Man.
He's basically Spider-Man. He is legitimately basically Spider-Man. And
the boy is talented. Okay.
He is talented.
And everything he puts his hands to, like God bless
everything.
Him. Lord, yes. Keep him, Lord.
And that's what my prayer is, right? Like keep him, because the things that he wants to do are so like
dangerous in mommy eyes.
Okay. They're swinging. I mean,
they're daring. Right.
If Miles' mom knew he was swinging through the city like that,
listen,
she would his tail.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's terrifying. So it's like that thing, like you don't really fully know what to say as a parent. You just know you love your child and you want what's the absolute best for them. And you love them. At the end of the day, no matter what, you love them to kingdom come. So it's beautiful. It's beautiful, heartfelt. That's one of the things I was so excited to see this summer. And I'm glad we got to see it actually as a family. Can't wait for part 3.
Oh, I love that. Yay. We love family time. Family time is good time.
Thank you guys for listening. And we covered a lot of different things on this episode. We just wanted you guys to see our hearts and get an insight into, how we think and what we've been doing this summer.
Yes.
Catch us weekly on Spotify and Amazon Music, and feel free to leave us a review and also share this podcast.
Yes. And follow us on Instagram and Facebook to get more information and inspiration on motherhood and making things.
And if you enjoyed this episode, listen to it again and share it with a friend.
Yes, big on, listen to it again and share it with a friend. Listen, we're trying to expand our audience, and you guys know we're not holding anything back, and we have a lot of good gems. You want to share that with a friend. Don't keep it for yourself.
Yeah. Don't keep the goodness to yourself. And if you have a question or comment, send us an email at the ProCreatives Podcast at gmail.com, or you can shoot us a DM on our Instagram or our Facebook. Dannielle stay lighting up social media and our stories with all types of encouraging gems and funny content. So make sure you're following us. We're excited always to hear from you, and keep our community encouraged and engaged with inspirational content about motherhood. Go and be great, y'all.
Be great. See y'all.